Welcome back, guys. We're now doing the continuation of volume 16 part 1. Now we're on volume 16 part 2. So yes, I left off where I was talking about the excellent good news of me stepping into my managerial post by the grace of God, but at the same time the manipulation with my ex-African partner amplified. It never stopped. It became worse. Even though he had his good sweet side to him, he still had that devilish side to him that amplified each time when he felt like he needed to be manipulated. Yeah, to the point where I started somewhat, because I never entirely got immune to it. It was never a good thing. But I felt like I stayed in it longer than I should have. I think it was more so because he was politically affiliated. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. So I was looking at his accolades rather than looking at what God was doing in my life. I think that was what kept me longer than I should have stayed in that relationship. Even though I had evidence of when I should have walked away the first time, him causing me to abort my child, as well as me finding out that this man was married, even though he came up with this whole elaborate of lies to convince me otherwise, that he was not married, but it was a business marriage rather. You understand? But my focus as well was on the fact that I wanted to perfect my skill as a manager and to get into the hang of managing a business as well, because I am very ambitious. I have great ambitions that I needed to ascertain. But I remember I had to be multitasking, juggling, trying to ooze over or jump the hurdles of this man and his manipulations, as well as trying to manage my staff at work. And they weren't easy staff to manage because I had some rebellious staff. Oh my days. But thanks be to God. One thing I would say, my ex-African politician partner, he was very good at helping. Remember, I told you this. And I would give Caesar what is due to Caesar, right? He was very good at helping. And he saw that I was very much stressed because I was going through it at work with my staff, trying to get the hang of it, them being rebellious against me because, they didn't want to follow rules and regulations. And also there were some staff that were there for ages before I came there. And then I come in now trying to change up rules, even though it wasn't changing up rules. It was implementing the rules that were already there, but they were breaking them because they didn't have a good manager to manage them. So me coming in now, trying to reinforce these rules, it made them become rebellious against me. So that was like, I had to be doing investigations. I had to do all of these things. I am grateful because the skills that I've ascertained being a manager for almost 4 years give me a business to manage, and I manage it flawlessly. Thanks be to God. But yes, because my ex-African partner saw that I had so much going on, he decided to step in to help me to alleviate the stress off of me, because he saw that it was just overbearing for me and I would not be giving him the same attention because I had too much going on. So for me to give him my best, he had to jump in to help me how best he could. Aside from him being a compulsive, manipulative liar, he was very, very much helpful. I said that he's helpful because in the later parts of 2021, as I was transitioning as a manager and, perfecting my role and getting the hang of things, I decided that I needed more, because this was always something that I needed. Remember, I'm a very ambitious woman, thanks be to God. And I decided that I wanted to open up my own business. I opened up my own business, and it was a Afro-Caribbean food grocery supermarket. It was, yes. So I opened up a whole physical storefront, everything. I was operating it for a little while, and though it didn't last for long, I'm grateful for the experience I've gathered opening up a business. All the things that I learned from opening up my own business, I am able now to open up multiple businesses, because of course, I'm a businesswoman. So God knows the reason why he allowed my business to be closed down. I realized that when you're with some people and God wants to take you to a certain height, sometimes the people that are around you, it could be family, it could be friend, it could be spouse, it could be whoever that is around you, God see and knows, because he sits high and he look low, and he know that these people are not good for you. And the next aspects and journey of your life that he's taking you, those people cannot come on this journey with you. And I realized that this was the reason why he caused that business to shut down. And also he wanted me to focus on perfecting my managerial skills, but I was not able to do that, trying to manage the venue that I was given to manage, as well as trying to run my own business. Things was just not lined up, and people that was around me, God did not want them around me for the next levels that he was taking me on. And God wanted me to realize that he's running my life, not me running my own life. God himself was running my life. God wanted me to realize that. So thanks be to you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So my business was open for 6 to 8 months. Yes, so almost 8 months it was open for. And I say 6 to 8 months because it was in full operation up to 6 months. And in the 7th month, it was still somewhat in operation. That was when the issues started to present itself. There was just lots of things that was just coming up. That was slow, steady growing, because we were in an area that was very highly competitive. And I had lots of competition around me who sold Afro-Caribbean groceries. People were already used to those other supermarkets. So obviously me coming in as the newbie on the block, they're like fascinated. Oh, what is this? They came in and they were seeing what's going on. My prices had to be on a low. I'm trying to have the competitive advantage over these other competitions that are already there. So I'm trying to build my name. So it was going good because of the low price that I started off with. There was just lots of issues that was presenting itself that was hindering me. Of course, I got help from my mom, so she somewhat funded it with some money, but I funded the majority of the business in terms of monetary wise, my time, finding business partners, finding accountants, finding all the things that I need, because I needed a business plan. I had to make a big, thick 32-page business plan, and I needed a business advisor to help me with this. So of course, I'll tell them my vision, I tell them what I need. I had to work closely with these business advisors, and they help me with the formulating the business plan. Of these things cost, but it is needed. Yeah, it was just so much that was going on. I am so grateful for the experience, because now I can open any business with my eyes closed. So the business got liquidated in early parts of 2022. I opened it in late parts of 2021, but then it got shut down in the early parts of 2022. I was looking vaguely at it like this when I said God knows better, as how I was looking at it at the time, not knowing that God actually knows better, because he sits high, he looks low. So he knew better. He knew that there was people and things around me that he did not need around me. Of course, all of this was still happening whilst I was still managing, getting acquainted with my managerial position. But to juggle the two, it was so hectic. It was really hard. And remember, I told you guys that my African politician ex-partner at the time, though he had his evil, wicked side to him, he also had a very soft, sweet, caring, helpful side to him as well. All right, so this was where that side stepped in to help me in whilst I'm managing and trying to run my business, because there are many times when I needed stocks for the business. I do not know where I would get it, because I had to go to work. I get calls, okay, Shay, you need to be this, you need to do this, you need to do that at my workplace. Then as well as trying to think of opening up my business for it to get the sales that it needs for each day. My business needed some stocks, and this was where my ex-partner stepped in. He rented a big van, because it needed a big van because of the amount of items that I needed to replace in the shop. He went to go get these items for me whilst I'm at work, and he brought them to my business place. So he unpacked them from the vehicle, brought them inside, stuck them up on the shelves, and he stored what needed to be stored in the storeroom for me whilst I'm at work. This is how he helped me so much, and it alleviated the stress off so much. Even there was times when I needed to go to the early morning markets. This is the early morning markets where people who do imports and exports, these are the big warehouse places that they go, but you only can get to these places like 1-2 o'clock in the early mornings. He would get the vehicle as well, and then come pick me up at nighttime, and we would be on the road for us to go get the items that I need for the shop. He would then bring me home. I would get ready for me to go to work. He would just go and drop those items to my business place, stock them up in the storeroom, put what needs to go onto the shelves. He would be running the business for me whilst I am at work. And then also my mom would go and take over from him because he had to go do what he had to do. So this is how we were doing it. So honestly, I have to give Caesar what is due to Caesar. And thank you for those help, because honestly, it really helped me a lot. It alleviated a lot of stress off of me, and I had to close the business due to unforeseen circumstances that was presenting itself. I'm a businesswoman. Anybody who have business ideas, you can come to me and you can ask me anything as it relates to business. Yes, if you have a business that you need to be managed and you need some understanding on what you need to start and how to start, guess what? I am your girl. Also, I needed to add, in the later part of 2022, this was when I ascertained my British citizenship. So I am now officially a British citizen from 2022. Of course, I've always had my stay. So it's like in America, you know, you can get your green card, but you're not yet a full citizen until you've got the book. Yeah. So that was like the UK. So I had my indefinite leave to remain and I had my full stay and everything, but I was not classified yet as a British citizen until you've naturalized, you know, you've done the life in the UK test, you have done everything, you have sworn in and all of that. Yes, so I've done all of that in 2022, so the late parts of 2022. Yeah, I am now a British citizen and everything, so I can fly anywhere in the world with my passport. Of course, some places you do need to get a visa with it, but it's little bit a country. But the rest of it, yeah, our passport have use. Anyways. Oh, also it was my ex-partner at the time who helped me with all of that paperwork, because it was not a walk in the park with the paperwork that you have to fill in when you're trying to go do your naturalizing. The paperwork is no monkey business. However, he helped me with the paperwork because, as I said, that man was very good at paperwork anyways. I did majority of the work. I had to do my studies, I had to do all of the tests, and I had to go to the test centers, and I had to do my life in the UK test. I passed that with flying colors. I just needed to do the application now to do my naturalizing and then send in the documents. So he helped me with those aspects. So big up yourself. So guys, thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next aspect of the volume as we're drawing closer to the finalities of how God has and still is elevating my life from then until now. The elevation of God never stops. There's no limit to what God is doing in my life. So thanks be to God. Your heart with it.